All right. Well, I really apologize about the tech issues, but I just want to thank you all so much for being here. Welcome. And this is a big day for the KCNH1 community, so I really appreciate you all making the time. Now, let me go back to attempting to share my screen. Okay, so so um, this, yeah, was supposed to be how, oh, and I can't even, so it's supposed to be how everyone was supposed to be able to access their captions in their own language, but it does not seem to be working for this meeting, so we will definitely troubleshoot that for future meetings. Okay, in terms of languages that are supported on our registry platform, these are the 10 languages supported. And I think that covers just about everyone here, except for our friends from Turkey and Poland. And so I have lined up um, some people to help translate the questions, the surveys, the platform for our families in those communities. So I want to thank Piotr and Gosha and Lara and Zeynep for helping, who will be meeting with our families in Turkey and Poland to help translate the surveys for them. I also want to thank Marion Tipler, who has volunteered to help reach out to families and support them through this process if they have any questions, and Esther Cha, who is a medical student in Al George's lab and will be helping us reach out to researchers and doctors and hopefully connect new KCNH1 families to our community. I think you all know that our foundation and our partners in academia and in the biotech industry are working hard to develop cutting edge treatments that will help our kids. These are treatments that actually target the genetic cause of our kids' symptoms rather than, and should help with many or all of these symptoms rather than just helping with seizures or just GI symptoms or just the mood and behaviors. These treatments will hopefully help our kids be healthier, happier, and more independent overall. And we had a symposium in December in Los Angeles where several of our main researchers shared about the exciting treatments they're working on. And we're going to be having a series of Zoom meetings over the coming months where Ali, our scientific director, currently our tech troubleshooter, all of us have been this morning so far. But Ali will be sharing these presentations and breaking down the science for us and answering any questions you may have. But for now, I wanted to share a short video about one of these types of treatments, which is called an ASO, or antisense oligonucleotide. And this treatment was developed for a very similar rare genetic disorder caused by the SCN2A mutation. It's a very similar channelopathy like KCNH1. And this video is a little bit choppy because I cut it down from a 20-minute presentation, but hopefully you can get the picture. And let's hope this tech works. I think I enabled the sound, Ali, so give me a thumbs up if it's working.
My name's Ursula, and I'd like to begin by introducing you to my daughter, Eva. Today I'm going to share a glimpse into her life, the challenges that she's faced living with SCN2A, and then receiving Prax 222. SCN2A did not hold back. It threw everything at Eva. Uncontrolled seizures, cortical vision impairment, immobility. She was nonverbal, she has intellectual disability, and dystonia, a movement disorder that caused her body to stiffen, leading to many joint dislocations and surgeries. On the 1st of December 2023, Eva received her first treatment. That day was filled with a lot of emotion, but we were incredibly grateful to be given this opportunity. Today, Eva has actually received 10 doses, each spread 28 days apart. Now let's get to the best part, the measurable outcomes. So I'm going to share some of the measurable outcomes that we've seen since using Prax 222. So Eva has no direct movement. Prior to treatment, she was unable to grab or reach or really do anything actively with her limbs. So this is a video of Eva in her walker prior to treatment, and you'll see that the physio's doing most of the work. She's trying to prompt her legs, but she's not really moving them. She's slouched. There's just not a lot happening in the walker. And then this video was last week. So you'll see that her legs are now stepping with a slight prompt. And in this physio session, she actually did 60 consecutive steps. So every time she was prompt, she stepped. And prior to this, her personal best was actually 14 steps. So this was amazing to see, and it brought tears to everybody's eyes. The next measurable outcome I want to discuss is medication. So since receiving Prax 222, we've been able to withdraw 2 seizure medications, and a drug that actually prevented one of the side effects from those medications, and also a movement med. So this is an image of her medications prior to her first ASO dose. And then this is halfway through, and this is now. So this in itself has been really great for Eva, but it's also been great for us as a caregiver, because now it only takes minutes to prepare her morning and night medications. And the next one I want to talk about is mood. So 2 weeks after the first ASO is dosed is when we started noticing an improvement in her mood. So just to set the mood with Eva can scream and she can be quite loud. She doesn't like to be in places that are overstimulating. She hates the wind, she hates the cold, she hates the heat. She hates the rain, she hates the shower, she hates therapy, she pretty much hates most things. So going out as a family was really difficult because we never knew if Eva was going to scream and then people would stare, or if the environment was going to be too stimulating for her and then cause her to have quite a large seizure. So Eva would often stay home with her carer instead of being out with us as a family, which was absolutely heartbreaking because we always really wanted her to be with us. So 2 weeks after treatment, the one thing we started to notice was Eva's moods were changing. So she became more receptive to her little sister, who would normally annoy her, and she actually tolerated her sitting in the wheelchair and grabbing her arms. Then after about a month after treatment, Eva actually went out and got her nails done, and she really enjoyed it. And this has actually been something she's been doing every month. And then the best one, most recently, we did a 14-kilometre run with over 80,000 people to raise money for our children's hospital. And this is something Eva could never have done, not only because of the noise, but also because of the pain that it would cause her to sit in a chair for that period of time. And she did it, and she absolutely loved it. The measurable outcomes have actually been really substantial. So just to quickly go over them again, the things that we've actually seen are constipation improvement, reduction in seizure frequency, improved EEG results, reduction in seizure medication, lower muscle tone, improved eating, improved visual tracking. We've seen some direct movement, we've seen improved communication, and best of all, we've seen mood. Going through this experience with Eva and seeing the changes that this ASO has created in her life has made such a huge impact, not only for her, but also for us as a family. We can now do more things as a family as she can enter environments that once were challenging for her. And we no longer have a fear that she's going to have a large seizure in public or scream. As parents of children like Eva, we don't realise how much impact these conditions truly have on our life. To now experience life where these challenges are reducing makes me really emotional, but it makes me really excited for our community. Eva going through this experimental treatment could potentially help a newborn baby, and that family won't have to experience the torture and sadness that we lived. We did not go into this treatment expecting Eva to be normal. We are aware of the damage this disease has already done to her body. We went into it hoping for a better quality of life for Eva. I look at this incredibly cruel journey we've been on, and since Eva has received treatment, life has become easier. I now look forward to our future, and we've actually just booked a family holiday to Japan next year because we think Eva's ready for a 10-hour flight. Eva has two sisters, and she has gone from our naughtiest child to our perfect child, leaving the noisiest roll up to her youngest sister. With every inch stone we make, we will be eternally grateful to the Praxis Precision Medicine team for giving Eva this chance, and we thank you.
Okay, so that was one kid with a SCN2A mutation who was treated with an ASO. And I want to share a picture from an article about another kid with an SCN2A mutation who was treated with an ASO. And he actually lives right here in San Diego and is being treated by our son Tristan's neurologist. And within a few months of starting the treatment, he,
My name's Ursula, and
oops,
I'd like to begin.
he started walking unassisted for the first time in his life at age 15. So I just want to share these success stories to let you all know that these treatments are coming. They're not science fiction anymore. They may not quite be cures for our kids quite yet for a few more years, but they are going to change our kids' lives. And so now I'd like to introduce once again, sorry, I'm going to stop sharing. And I'd like to introduce Allie, our Scientific Engagement Director, and she's going to explain to us all how participating in this registry is going to help bring these life-changing treatments to our kids.
Thanks, Michelle. Can everybody see the slides that I am showing?
Yes.
Great. Hi, everybody. It's so nice to be here. I am Dr. Allie Rosenberg. I am your Scientific Engagement Director, and I'm going to try to speak very slowly. So if I start going too fast, Michelle, just like give me a wave and I will slow myself down. And I just want to speak for a couple minutes to you all about this really exciting moment, which is that we are launching the registry. This is a big deal, probably the most important thing that we're going to do all year as a foundation. And this entirely relies on all of you deciding to participate. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the registry, why it's important, and how we're going to safeguard your data to make sure that you feel secure with that information in our hands. So what is a registry and why do we have a registry? So this registry is our program, KCNH1's program, for collection, storage, retrieval, and dissemination of clearly defined information for a specific purpose. So what is that purpose? All of you are all over the world. People with KCNH1 are everywhere. We all speak different languages. We live in different places. We can't all just get together and explain what's going on in our lives. Same thing with all the researchers that want to study this disease. They're all over the world. And we need a centralized database that makes it easier for our information to be shared. This allows all of you to be involved in research studies and clinical trials. And so over time, you're going to be given different questionnaires. As you complete these questionnaires, the researchers that we're going to work with can compare the specific symptoms that you talk about. It'll allow them to understand the progression of KCNH1 disease, and it'll allow them to gain valuable insights into the kinds of treatments that we use or can use and understand what is successful for us. So what information are we going to collect? We're going to collect information on diagnosis, treatment, management of care, quality of life, and longitudinal information on these disorders. So longitudinal means that we're going to be surveying you over time. So not just tomorrow, not just one snapshot in time, but year after year, we're going to keep collecting information to understand how this disease changes over time, which is an understanding we currently don't have. Who should participate and why? So anyone who has a KCNH1 disorder or is a caregiver for someone with a suspected diagnosis should participate. Now, some of you may have a suspected diagnosis or an actual genetically, a genetic report saying that you have a mutation in KCNH1. If you don't have that genetic diagnosis yet, that's okay. You should still register. And whenever you do get that genetic report, you can update your information and upload it later. All information related to KCNH1 is so valuable. We just don't understand a lot about this disease. So your participation, each and every one of you, it really makes a difference. And I can't emphasize that enough. We're a small community. We all need to participate. And all of your information can help researchers gain a better understanding of this disease. Again, this is ultra rare. It's not well understood. And so by providing this information, it lets researchers piece together the big picture of this disease. We're going to use this information to develop therapeutics, to put together medical guidelines, future treatments, and design clinical trials. Everything we understand from this registry informs all of those things. So how is your data or your child's data going to be used? So the foundation itself is probably going to do some of its own analysis of this data. We're also going to work with researchers outside of the foundation that we authorize to learn about our population. This information is going to be published. It'll be shown at conferences and also in scientific literature. We are also going to share it back with all of you in a timely manner, so everyone gets to learn all together. Now, only the foundation can access the registry itself. Only authorized researchers outside of the foundation are going to be sent subsets of this data, and it will always be de-identified. We want to encourage you, if you have any questions or concerns about sharing your data, you should reach out and ask us, and we'll help you understand the answers and what to do about it. So this registry is going to be absolutely safeguarded. It is protected by the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, that's HIPAA in the United States, and it's compliant with the European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, the GDPR. Any researcher that wants to access our data is going to submit the request to something called an Institutional Review Board, or an IRB. This is a group of medical professionals, ethicists, doctors, etc., and also some just sort of ordinary people that are going to review the ethics of any research studies that these people want to do. Now, researchers that are approved by us at the foundation and approved by the IRB will be allowed to receive anonymous data. There'll be nothing identifiable. We're not going to ever share patient name, caregiver name, emails, or addresses. So this is a really big moment for KCNH1. A registry is a big deal. This is something that every patient and caregiver organization does at some point in their progression. It signals that we are organized and we are serious about providing really high quality information and a willingness to collaborate with these researchers who have the ability to help us. They're going to find patient commonalities and differences in this data. And this is going to let these researchers consider how to work towards identifying our greatest needs and also our most unique needs. How KCNH1 is going to overlap with other disorders that are out there, and how to use therapeutics and lessons learned that are common to these other diseases to help us. And then also think about how to develop therapeutics just for our population. And that's it. That's all I wanted to say. So I hope you all choose to participate in the registry. Ask us questions anytime. We're going to be here to help walk you through how to get into the registry. And I think Andrea is going to go next and tell us all about the nitty-gritty of how the registry works.
Thank you so much, Allie.
Thank you, Allie and Michelle. Let me make sure I can share. All right, can you see my screen?
Mhm.
Awesome. All right, so thank you so much for the opportunity to meet with you all today. My name is Andrea Rogers. I work with Across Healthcare, and we are hosting your registry. So we host registries for about 110 rare diseases. So it's been a privilege to work with Michelle to get things set up so that you all are able to start collecting your data. So after this call, I'm sure Michelle will share these URLs with you so you know how to access the registry. But the first thing you will do is go to the account request page to request an account for the registry. And if I start talking too fast, Michelle, wave your hands at me also. So what you will want to do is whoever is creating the account. So if you're creating an account to enter information for your child, this would be your name. So my alter ego is Danny Primrose that I use for testing. So you will put in your first and last name, your email address, and then you'll have to check a couple of boxes down here. So you will need to note that you are 18 years of age or older. Otherwise, a parent needs to register for you. Acknowledge that you are either in the United States or you understand that your data will be stored in the United States. So check one of those. And then choose the option here that pertains to you. So in this case, I'm going to sign up as a mom. So I'm going to pick that I am a caregiver or guardian to someone with KCNH1 related disorder. If I was the patient with that, then I would choose patient participant instead. But I'm going to go ahead and walk through this example as a caregiver. So that's all you have to fill out to request your account, and then you click sign up. It will send an email to your email box with a link that states click here to create your password. But if you don't get the email, sometimes people don't, there's a shortcut way to verify your email through this link. So you would just click on the link. It will pull forward the email address that you entered, which that was the one I did last night. So let me add one here and ask it to send you a verification code. And it will send the code to your email address. Let me pop over here to my email. And I see that it sent me a verification. So 030769. I just put that verification code in because we need to make sure that you have access to that email that you registered with. I'm going to verify the code, says it's been verified, and now I can continue. So I'm going to set my password here, and it gives you information on what needs to be included in the password. And this will be your password going forward. If you want to see what you typed, you just click the little eyeball and it will open up and show you what you typed as your password. Then I would just continue and it will set the password as I have indicated and take you to the sign-on screen with that information that you just entered. Now, if at any point you ever forget what password you entered, you can always click this link here and enter the email address you signed up with, and it will send you a link to reset that password. Or Michelle can do it for you, or you can contact us. But the easiest way is to just click that you forgot your password. But I'm going to go ahead and sign in. And of course, you can go straight to the sign-in screen once you've gone through that the first time. So it's going to take you now through kind of what we call a mandatory workflow when you first log in. So this is my name that I signed up with, Danny Primrose. The first thing you have to do, and this is one time only, you need to just read through the terms of use. And if you agree to that, you just go ahead and accept the terms of use. That will be just a one-time thing. And then I need to enter my caregiver information. So you can enter your address here. So it's address, city, state, and a zip code. You enter your date of birth as the parent. So to back up the years, just keep clicking this. I will enter a birth date here, your phone number, and then a little bit of additional information about you, the parent. So again, it's always just remember it says caregiver participant here. So right now I'm still entering information about me. So I choose what I want to answer here, and there's always a prefer not to answer if you are uncomfortable answering the question. So I will just pick to answer these questions. The birthplace is something we ask for just if in the future you want to match data records with another system. So I will just enter some information here. Oops. This would be US. And again, maybe I just prefer not to answer that question. So I'm going to save that. And I noticed this glitch last night. Ignore the fact that it doesn't have the information and just click the finish button. I will get that corrected tomorrow morning. But now you're in the platform, and it will always tell you who you're logged in as up here. So I'm logged in as Danny, the caregiver. And the first thing I need to do is add my child. So very simply, I'm just going to click add participant. My participants, my daughter's name is, say, Rose Primrose. Be kind of mean, but, and then a couple of questions here, and then you would save it. And so now I'm adding my daughter to the account. And again, it's going to walk me through the steps that I need to complete before I can kind of get into the whole registry. And you only have to do this one time unless there's something you haven't completed in that mandatory workflow. So it's going to pull forward all of the address information so I don't have to enter that again. The only thing it's going to do is ask me the relationship to the person that I just added. So I will add parent and that I am biologically related. And I will save that. And now it's going to move down to asking me questions about my daughter. So her name is here, her name is here. So everything at this point is about my daughter. So you can read through the informed consent, and you can just click next or previous to get through all the pages of the consent. I'm just going to quickly jump through it to get to the last page. And here you fill out the consent for the registry. So I'm going to choose that I'm a parent or guardian, and that I give my consent to participate in the study. And then there are a few more questions. And if you have questions about anything in the consent, you can reach out to Michelle at any time, and she's happy to walk through it with you. But I'm going to go ahead and just answer yes. It asks about sharing your child's electronic health records, additional study surveys, and communication. So I'm going to answer yes to all of those and move to complete that patient-informed consent. Now I'm going to fill out the general information about my child. So again, it's going to pull forward that address I added. I just need to add her birth date, and then the general information about her. Again, it's really helpful to have this information, but if you're uncomfortable with any of this, you can just choose that you prefer not to respond. So I'm going to go ahead and go down here. Does the participant have health coverage of any type? I'm going to answer yes, and then it asks me an additional question. I'll state that we have private health insurance, and then we want to select the rare disease. And there's really just one option for you all, but if there are additional rare diseases or something else that you want to enter, you can choose other and enter that information in the free text field. Okay. Going to take that off. Oops. I want this one and additional. We'll just put there. And that's all you need to do on this page. So again, one time unless you need to come back at some point and update that information. Now this is a consent form for D4. Michelle, do you want to speak to this a little bit? I don't know if everybody's familiar or not. Can't hear you.
I have a short video from Dr. Doe after your presentation, but this is specifically regarding, KCNH1 is very similar to a lot of other rare diseases and neurodevelopmental disorders, but we do have some quite unique symptoms like the gum overgrowth. And Dr. Doe is very interested, and I don't know about all of you, but I know many of us have had difficulty finding dentists and providers who are willing to treat this because they've never seen it, they don't know what to do with it, they want guidance, and it doesn't exist in the published literature right now. So Dr. Doe is wanting to help with all of that. So this consent is so that he can specifically study the oral and dental aspects of KCNH1.
All right, so I'll just go through this real quick. You can read through it, and again, we'll get more information on this towards the end, but this asks for your consent for recordings, etc., images to participate in the study. And then there are, you would type your name to consent. I am her parent. And then there are a couple of other signatures that have to be obtained offline. So once you complete that, you just click complete. Oops, forgot to put in the name of the doctor. So you see it will stop you if you don't complete it properly. I do want to say if you get interrupted in the middle of this, you have to leave and take care of your child. You can always, the next time you log in, it will bring you right back to this spot. So it's not a problem if you can't complete this in one sitting, but hopefully it's pretty quick. The next question, we've added this question because we've had a number of people enroll at collection sites to give biosamples. And so they don't want to have to go through a lot of the things required in order to consent for the biosamples. So this is kind of a one-time bypass. If you are registering for the first time at a site, you can click that you're at the site and it will take you straight to that consent. But if you're just signing up normally, you need to go ahead and pick none of those apply. Complete this, and then it will take you to the one survey that's mandatory to complete before you go into the registry. And this is called a health and development survey. And it's a very straightforward, simple question, and it kind of goes through the different body systems asking if there are issues. And if there are issues with any of these, then it will provide you with follow-up surveys. So if you click no, it will just keep moving along. Were there issues during pregnancy? No. And you just click whatever is accurate for your child. I'm going to click some no here and some yes, just to get a couple of surveys. But again, anything you answer yes or unsure about, you will get a follow-up survey. And there is definitely a follow-up survey about seizures. So I'm going to go ahead and click brain and nervous, behavior and psychiatric. Pop through a couple of these. They do give examples of what we mean by issues with these systems. We will be updating these examples to add examples more pertinent to your community. But again, if you have any questions about whether something applies or not, you can either ask or click yes to get the follow-up survey, and then you'll have even more specifics. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this one up. And oral health, I know, is a specific one for you. So I'm going to complete that survey. And then the last thing it's going to do is ask me to please upload my genetic curation report. So if you have had a genetic test and you have that document, we want you to go ahead and upload it at this time. If you don't have it, when the first time you're sitting down to go through this, you can upload it later, and I'll show you how to do that. But it's super easy also to upload here. I'm just going to click upload, and then I would select the file and upload it. Here's a sample genetic test. It will go through and tell me that it's uploading it, and I can save it. That's done. And I've got my report there. If I didn't have it, I would just check this box and it would let me bypass it. but I've only got one, so that's all I'm going to upload. I click complete, and now you see the wonderful finish button at the bottom. So everything's checked off here on the left. I've completed everything I must finish, and I can click that finish, and now I open up into the registry. So it's going to ask me if I want to go back to my dashboard to add another child, or I'm just going to pick my daughter who I've just added. So now we've opened up into the whole registry, and just a couple things I want to point out. If you have multiple people you're entering information for, you can always see who you're entering information for at the top. So that's one thing. The other thing is if you want to change the language, and I didn't do this when I first logged in, but you can also do it on the login screen. You can choose your language here, and then it will say in French. I'm going to leave it in English. And a couple things to point out. General information is what we filled out when we first logged in. So if you move or need to update any of this information, you would just click here and click edit. Care team allows you to enter your child's providers and also search for providers. I'm not going to focus on that this morning because I know we're a little bit short on time. But surveys and studies are the additional surveys that we're asking you to fill out. And for most of these, it will give you an estimated time to complete. So some are shorter, some are longer. Vineland, if any of you are familiar with that and haven't taken it, that's of course takes a little bit. The oral health is one we added specifically for you. So you would just click start to take that survey, and then it will go through and ask you the questions for that particular survey. Again, if at any point you need to stop, just click the X, save your progress, and the next time you come in, you can continue it. It's not a problem. And then if you want to view your completed surveys, you can come over here. There's my consents that I filled out. If you realize you updated something incorrectly on health and development, you can
Sorry to
always
jump
come over
in
here.
really quickly, Andrea. Sorry to interrupt. I may have missed it because I was looking at the chat, but did you talk specifically with the Vineland? Many of us have to fill that out for our kids' services. Did you cover how to upload it?
Not yet. We'll get to that in documents. Yep. So you can retake a survey at any point in time, and if appropriate, it will pull forward all your previous responses. So you don't have to re-answer everything. So we just tried to make that a little bit faster process, but really want you to kind of focus on getting the surveys that were assigned to you completed when you can. The Vineland, you will have a Vineland recent activity survey. With this one, we only want you to take it every 12 months. And if you've taken it someplace else, we obviously don't want you to have to take it again. So it says, have you taken the Vineland as part of another study in the last 12 months? If you click no, then it will assign you the Vineland. Otherwise, if you click yes, it will ask you, if where you have taken it, if I took it here or from some other place, I could type it in and then just complete it. So the sole purpose of that is to figure out if we need to assign you the Vineland or not. If you have already taken it, I'll go ahead and pop down here to documents. You can see the genetic test I already uploaded. This is how you can upload other documents to the system. You simply click upload, click the upload button like I did before and find the file. And then this is where you tag it. So if it's another genetic report, you would tag it as genetic curation. But if it's a Vineland, you want to go ahead and choose the Vineland because that way we know that that's what it is and we can pair it appropriately in the system. So you would just choose the document, choose the appropriate tag, and save it, and then it will upload the document. Okay. A couple other things really quick. Survey analysis. Once you have completed a survey, it will allow you to look and kind of see how you compare to others in your community that have filled this out. Now, this is going to be pretty boring because I'm probably the only person in here who has taken this survey yet. But you can find, let me see, maybe eyes and vision. I'll pick that question. So yes, it's only me so far. And so I'm the one in gold. It shows one person has answered and they chose no, but it would also show blue lines for however many people responded the other way. So it just kind of gives you an insight into how other people responded to those same surveys. Michelle, okay, I hit documents. You want me to do symptoms and activities, correct? Okay, so symptoms and activities allows you to track symptoms on more of a daily basis versus like every 6 months or every year, like the surveys will. And I'm a mom of a child with a rare disease. I did a lot of this in Excel when I was trying to track, these are the symptoms and these are the things that seem to make it worse or better. And this is it compared to these medications. So this allows you to do it in the system. And you can either use an organizational symptom that KCNH1 has set up, which is just seizures and learning new skills. I can add that out here on my list, but I can also create new symptoms. So, bad mood is maybe one. I can add that out there. So this is kind of my pick list now to quickly add when these things occur during the day. So if my son had a seizure, I could click the plus sign. It would date and time stamp it for me. I could, put any notes in here. We were at the mall, whatever makes sense there. You can rate the severity of it and whether it's an improvement, a worsening, or a stabilization, and save it. And you'll see I'll get a little 1 to pop up here. So anytime we add one, it's going to increment, and this gives us kind of more daily information about how things are progressing. And you can do the same thing with activities if you want to plot them against each other. So say I wanted to call it, the lady in the video was talking about a very loud environment. I could track that. I could track PT. I could track a particular procedure. We had a mom that noticed her daughter's seizures increased when the barometric pressure changed. So she was tracking increases and decreases in barometric pressure, anything you might want to plot against itself. So I'm just going to plot one there. And then when you do that, you can go down to insights, and this is going to be kind of boring because I only have 2 in there now, but you can plot up to 6 things against each other, symptoms, activities, and medications, and apply it. And what it will do is it will plot all of those occurrences. So you can start to see patterns that in your head as a mom is what's going on, but this at least gives you some data to be able to communicate with. So this is a really nice, handy thing. You can backdate it if you don't happen to get in there every day, but this is really helpful to track these type of things. One other thing I want to mention is health information. This allows you to track all of these particular items, medications, conditions, treatments. And if you are in the United States, you can actually link and import your health records. So if you click import health records, it will take you out and allow you to connect to like your patient portals, like your MyChart portals. And if you do that, then every 7 days, we will pull in all of these items for you. So if there's been any change, we'll pull those in. You can review them. You can delete things that weren't appropriate. You can still add your own out there. If we had a procedure, you type here, had an echocardiogram or something, indicate the year in the notes. But if you can pull it in, it just, saves a little bit of typing. So we have that. And Michelle, was there anything else in particular you wanted me to cover?
We had someone asking about is it possible to share this info like you just said, pull in the electronic health record, and then is it possible to share it with a new provider, or you're in the ER and you have, I don't know.
Yep, absolutely. We have something called the Sharing Center, and it's probably not going to share this really nicely because I don't have a lot of data in here, but you can create actually a secure link with a PIN code, or you can print it if you're going out the door to the ER. You can share any of these items. We have groups that even they share with the child's school, and they will share conditions and allergies, symptoms, that sort of thing. So you can check anything that you want to share and either save to create the link or print it out. Did I add over there? I added a procedure. No, no, I didn't even save anything. Let me just pick general information so you could get an idea. But anything you have data in, you can save here. And let me make sure I chose print. But like I said, you can choose to make it a permanent link with a PIN code or just print it for one time. And whenever they click that link and enter the PIN code or you print this out, it will have whatever information you opted to share. So in this case, I could only pick general information and documents since that's all I had in here. But if I had medications and allergies and things like that, it would print all of that out, as well as care team. I have one group that every time their child goes to the ER, this particular specialist is supposed to be notified. So if your care team is in here, you can opt to share that. And then you'll be able to either print or provide that in the link.
Great, thank you.
All right. Anything else? Oh, one more thing I want to cover. Before, when you first log in, you have an option up here called settings. Do come in here and edit and change your time zone to set it accurately. Otherwise, all of the date and time stamps when you view it are going to be in UTC time, which really confuses a lot of people. So go ahead and take the time, pick your time zone, and that way anything you're looking at will be reflective of your current time zone. We also default to send you emails anytime a new survey has come out or Michelle wants to send you a message through the platform. You will get a notification, no PHI in it. It will just say you have a new survey to complete or you have a new message on the platform. So you can, we automatically default that to on. So hopefully you will leave that there. So I think that's a quick overview. Anything else, Michelle?
One more question from the chat. Just, I think a big question for a lot of us, one of the main reasons we're doing this is trying to figure out what works best currently, let alone, getting to future treatments for controlling our kids' symptoms. And so, for example, if you fill out the seizure meds section, you can then go back and do the analyze button and see, like, if your kid is on Depakote, see like, oh, that, has tended to work well for a lot of kids or it hasn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's if there is a survey that covers that, that's what you would see in the survey analysis that I was showing. So again, what it doesn't let you see anything until you actually complete the survey yourself. But once you do, you'll have all those surveys listed here and you can click analyze at any time and be able to see what others have done or experienced.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
All right. There's other things, I encourage you just to play around. You can do journaling in here. There's messages if they're sending messages to you through the platform. So all different things you can take a look at in here, but really want to encourage you to be sure to fill out the surveys first. All right.
Thank you so much, Andrea.
You're most welcome.
Okay, so we mentioned Dr. Doe already and the studies that he's going to do. So I'd like to share his little video that he recorded. He is one of the researchers who is very excited to have this registry up and running. He's been working hard with us, trying to connect us to new patients. And he is a dental surgeon in France, and he has performed gingivectomies for 2 of our kids, one of them just this past week. And it sounded like it went really smoothly. And he's just such a kind and caring doctor who really wants to help our kids and our community. So.
Bonjour à tous, je m'appelle Nat Mindo et je suis chirurgien dentiste pédiatrique. J'exerce dans le centre de référence des maladies rares orales et dentaires qui se situe au sein du CHU de Strasbourg. C'est dans ce cadre que j'ai eu le plaisir de rencontrer certaines familles parmi vous, de vous accompagner pour vous proposer des solutions thérapeutiques pour vos problématiques bucco-dentaires. Alors quand Michaela nous a fait part de son projet, j'ai tout de suite été emballé et impressionné par son engagement. En effet, rassembler un maximum de données médicales, que ce soit du diagnostic ou du thérapeutique, et également de mettre en lien les différents professionnels de santé, va nous permettre de guider les futures recherches.
Sorry guys.
Bonjour à tous, je m'appelle Nat Mindo. Pour réaliser cela, nous avons besoin de vous, professionnels de santé, motiver un maximum vos patients pour participer et puis vous, patients, familles de patients. Votre rôle est essentiel, vous êtes les mieux placés pour partager votre vécu et enrichir cette recherche avec votre expérience unique. Alors rejoignez ce projet et devenez acteur de cette belle aventure scientifique et humaine. Ensemble, faisons avancer la recherche et renforçons la communauté des KCNH1. Merci à tous.
So that link is not actually active quite yet, but I will provide the direct links to the registry. Okay, so now we've all heard why this research study is so important and how much it's going to help our kids and their doctors and the researchers. But we do know that we're asking a lot. It's going to take probably at least an hour, probably 2 hours, depending on what symptoms and health problems your kids have. And we know that's a big ask for busy families with kids with special needs. So as a thank you to the families that get it done over the next few weeks, we're going to do a gift card drawing. We're going to have 3 $100 gift cards, and for any families that complete all the surveys and complete their profile by Rare Disease Day, which is February 28th, we're going to draw names, and so everybody will have 3 chances to win at least. In fact, some families, if you're one of those families where you as a parent have a KCNH1 variant yourself, then you'll be filling out a profile for yourself as well, although it'll probably be a lot shorter because you don't have as many symptoms as your kid. So then that'll be a separate entry and you'll have even more chances to win. So we will be having another Zoom meeting the weekend, a month from now, the weekend of Rare Disease Day, where we'll be doing the drawing. And I hope to see you all back again then. And I want to apologize again. I'm so sorry. I worked so hard to have those translations accessible for everyone. I'm really sorry about the delays and the tech problems, but I just really appreciate you all being here. And is Jennifer still on here? She might have dropped off, but she's due to have a baby like this week. So good luck, Jennifer. And it was wonderful to see you all. If any of you need to jump off, go for it. If any of you want to stay around and ask questions, we can hang on for a few more minutes. Does anyone have any questions? Like I said, this will be has been recorded, and hopefully when we post it on YouTube, their translation system will work better than Zoom's has.
Can I ask Michelle, Oscar's blood tests have come back with high cholesterol, and I know you said about being able to put it into the analysis and ask about that. How soon do you think that'll be, or is that how long is a piece of string?
Well, so to actually formally analyze the data will take a while. We have researchers who are Dr. Doe for the dental stuff, and also other researchers who are very interested in studying KCNH1 and publishing this data, but unfortunately the publishing process is quite slow. But that doesn't mean we can't do, we can invite those researchers to come do webinars with us or to send a little email summary. So we will definitely do our best to get this information back to you all as quickly as we possibly can.
Thank you. You're amazing, by the way. You really are.
I was all flustered and frazzled with all the tech problems, but thank you. Anyone else?
That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. It was so wonderful to see a lot of new faces here today. I appreciate you all, and I'm sorry in advance about the questionnaires. I know it's going to be a lot, but it will be so worth it. Every single researcher we talk to says this is the most important thing we can all do as parents. So thank you, and I hope to see you all again in a month.
You too. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.